but like you should
What?
just know better.
Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your host MB and K Lou. MB in the
Hey,
building, y'all.
Lou. What's up? What's up?
Look, the
What's up,
Haven
y'all?
in the Haven in the building. We missing our other two guys, but they chilling. We'll get with them. I'm sure next week.
Chilling
Right,
like a
fresh
villain
off
for
the
a Cool J
press.
song.
Fresh off the press, I guess you got to watch these Bama boys when they say they having personal issues. Because it seems like it really be something they done did wrong. I mean, you go out in Arizona and we get personal issues and we get a hit and run or a supercar
Vegas,
accident
yeah.
where
Vegas.
yeah, they end up, with a death involved. And then you get Calvin Ridley that had checked out, I think even earlier than that, said he had personal issues. And guess what? Calvin Ridley betting on football, MB.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw that. I mean, yeah, and they suspended him for a year. So I mean that. Yeah, I understand. He betted on some games but he wasn't playing. He was out. Like you just mentioned, he took out time for mental health. When they say idle time is a devil worship, playground. Excuse me. So, first of all, I mean they suspended for a year. I mean it's wrong. The rule is clear. You're not supposed to bet on the games, regardless of if you're playing or not. You know how the NFL, they protecting that shield at all costs. But I don't know. I just think it's excessive for a year suspension, though. I just think,
Wow.
dang. So
I
I think it's
actually
excessive.
thought, MB, I actually thought it would be more excessive. I thought
Yeah,
he
I
would
just do.
probably be lifetime banned. Like,
Pete Rose.
because I thought, like, literally, I thought it was that egregious. And think about it. And for whatever reason, the NBA always gets that shit. Like, people are always saying, it's predetermined. The Lakers got to be there or the Celtics got to be there. I've heard that since I was a little boy growing up by the guys that was, talking around me about sports. And so I thought the NFL bent over backwards knowing that, there was a time where the mob was heavily into the NFL, when it was guys were playing for less money and stuff like that. So I thought that was an egregious offense. Like you can't almost do anything worse.
Yeah, that's what did he lose? $1,500, and he lost $11 million this year. Being cut for, being suspended for a whole year. Just tough decision making, man. Tough decision
Yeah, I
making.
don't know. And I say you're right. I mean, gambling is about protecting the shield and integrity of it. It's kind of, with all the betting now, betting games or betting people being sponsors of sports and stuff like that. You can look at it like, it's kind of, hypocritical to one sense. But to me, I don't know if he was playing in those games. I could see it being like a year, but he wasn't playing in those games. And then he was betting for them to win, not lose. Trust me, I'm not trying to defend what he did. What he did was wrong because the rule is clear, right? I just think, man, they're just using him as any opportunity, like you say, K. Lou, as far as gambling or something like that. That the NFL could, because all sins are not created equal, and this gambling thing is serious.
Absolutely.
So anytime they get somebody that
MB, if we interrupt, it's not because we're trying to, but your sound is going off and on. So
yeah, I'm over here at baseball, man. I
Yeah.
apologize. No, I'm over here at baseball. So yeah, so I'm pulling a Pac Jam, still in baseball Wi-Fi, so trying to work it out, man. But I don't know. I understand all that. I just think, man, golly, for somebody who didn't play $1,500 minimum, betting on them to win. I get it. They're gonna make an example of him. I just think, man, golly, that for a year, like the Haven say, he's losing multi-millions of dollars, close to $10, $11 million salary for a $1,500 mistake. Golly, that I just hate it for him.
Wow. Yeah. Maybe I'm changing in my old age, DeHaven, but I completely disagree with you. And I think, like, again, to have to fight or listen to innuendos about your sport and gambling, and now you have an active player, a young player that's probably going to be in this league for quite some time, involved in it.
That's just a no. I mean, it is kind of egregious if you think, even if it's the punishment might be excessive, but it's an egregious kind of thing to do. Like to me, I don't, I'm not judging anybody, but I think you just have to know better, especially as you said, an active player. You just have to know better. I mean, I don't know if it's complete ignorance of the rule but you have to know better than not to gamble. When you're an active player like that, it's just egregious. So I think the punishment is not excessive. You just have to know better.
Because here's the thing now, MB, right? Like you said, gambling's kind of a part of all sports now. It's always have, but now it's like accepted. I'll put
it's
it
it's legal. It's
correct.
Legal now. Yeah.
Yeah. And
the
now
sponsorship.
Right. So now we've caught Calvin Ridley, right? What's the next thing everybody's gonna say? Who else, right? Like that's just the natural, order of things. Who else is doing it? And watch this, MB. He bet for his guys. Who betting against their guys? You see what I'm saying? Like that's the natural thing that fans are gonna talk about. And if you don't do something excessive like this, then it paints the picture to me that it may be far reaching. Oh, let's imagine that Tom Brady's still playing. Well, Tom probably been doing it, but they ain't gonna touch Tom. Like people just get to start saying any crazy thing because now you found one example, just like the basketball ref. Remember that?
Yeah,
that was why. Because people have always said the refs be cheating. I still have to hear about how we stole the game from the Sacramento Kings when Chris Webber was there, with the refs. And then
2002.
And guess what they did when they found out the ref was cheating? Went straight back to Chris Webber to ask, do he think it was some shenanigans? You see what I mean? Right. And so, MB, that's what I think about. What's the effects of that? Not necessarily him and what he did, but what comes out of that.
And I agree with what you're saying. Like I said, the NFL is going to do all what they can to protect that shield. And anybody, as far as gambling, that's one of those, blaspheme type violations that you do. I just think, and they're going to make a poster child. Anybody that violates, they're going to make a poster child. I just think when you take into the factor, it's almost like, flagrant foul. It's like different levels to it. I think when you take in the factor that he wasn't playing, he was medical leave, whatnot. Trust me, I'm not trying to justify what he did. He wrong. He know the rule. The rules are clear. And I just think it's just excessive, but it's excessive because, like you just said, all the reasons you just brought up, they're gonna make a example out of it because they trying to protect that shield. They're trying to protect. They don't want no negative response, and so he's gonna pay for it regardless. If he put $1 on it, it was gonna happen. Gambling is gambling, and there's no layers to it. If you're gonna violate it, you see they're gonna bring down a hammer. I just think it's just excessive.
Dave, and as a fan, what's your perspective? Like, does this change the way you look at the league at all, or you just feel like this was just a bump in the road, ignorant youngster that's making a mistake?
Yeah, I don't think so because it doesn't change how I view the game because he wasn't participating in the games. So it's a lot different. You brought up the Tim Donahue situation in 2002. That it's a lot different than that when he actively was involved in changing the outcome of a petition, changing the outcome of a game. Or I think the first one who got caught like this was Pete Rose back in the day, like games that he actually actively was managing in. So it doesn't change my perspective because he wasn't playing. Had he been playing, been a different story. But since he wasn't playing, no, it doesn't change how I view it.
Mm-hmm.
As a fan.
Well, and Kalo, I add this. I obviously, I think he's gonna appeal. I think you got 3 days to appeal, and then I think they came down heavy. But I don't know if this and you know how the NFL, once you get that FedEx letter, you get it. It's kind of hard to win appeal. But I think I don't think a year suspension is gonna hold up. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't think a year suspension is gonna hold up.
Who decides the appeal? Is it Troy Vincent?
No,
it depends on. Yeah, the same dude. That's what
Roger Goodell.
This going straight to Roger. This right here is going straight to Roger. You know,
That's why the
this
appeal
going straight.
sounds funny to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I made a mistake the first time.
Exactly. Yeah, something like this is definitely got commissioner written all over it. You know, so I don't know. I could
They
be
said a
wrong,
year
but
could potentially be longer. I thought one thing I read, one
That-
source I read, that it could be
yeah,
longer.
yeah, that's what they said. I mean, they
That's
like
what
they
I
said,
was leaning.
yeah, gambling is serious in the NFL, and like you get close to it, I'm telling you, that you off with the head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's just. I just think when you look at the I hate that for any individual, especially
Yeah.
under circumstances. Obviously, I don't know the dude personally. He's dealing with some stuff already, and he just got caught up. He made a mistake. I mean, made a drastic mistake. I just, when you look at it and you add in the other ingredients, I just think, man, a year is just excessive, you know? But I get it because it's protecting the shield and all the reasons you pointed out, K-Lou, you know, that's what they're looking at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm glad I ain't on the decision maker, but he have to get it for that. I'm sorry. You know, I'm more lenient on the other things that I think they go too far. You know, like I remember Pac-Man Jones getting, you know, suspended and he ain't got no charges. Like what is going on? Like he went home and went to sleep. Like
for
what?
the whole
He
year.
got what?
Yeah.
Now that's the type of stuff that you want me in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like stuff like this, that's to me worse than it being a rule. MB is common sense to me. Like
Yeah.
it's worse to me than even being a rule, you know, against it. It's like, listen, I probably shouldn't be betting on something that I'm a part of. And I know you guys are saying he didn't play, but that's a slim distinction because guess what? We didn't play, but we knew the game plans. You know what I'm saying? Like if you injured or hurt or in his situation, we didn't play, but we knew what the other team had and what they were trying to do. Like
it's like insider trading. Yeah.
To me, it's like better inside information. You know, like you get to keep it clean and gamble. so that to me doesn't change it. Like, you know, you mentioned Pete Rose, you the manager. Like, huh? That makes it worse. You call this stuff. Hey, ask Seattle Seahawks fans if they think Pete Carroll made some money on that. In the Super Bowl when he threw a slant from the 1 yard line. You see what I mean? Like everything goes into question. Like you bring it into question.
Yeah.
And I can do that all day with different moments that we watch. Like MB, we got a segment. They clowning. Like, were they clowning? Or were they serious?
Right.
So that's all I'm saying.
Go ahead. Well, I know based on this, Calvert really, if this suspension hold up for a year, he definitely would clown. And $1,500, it wouldn't be worth. You could have got $1,500. God forbid, you get somebody else to make a bet for you. God, if it's like that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
Yeah, like what was the point?
And what you trying to do? Yeah, you got 11 million. Why you trying to win another 1,000? What you doing, man? Greedy, just greedy.
Trying to get money for them ATL clubs for the night.
What's going on? When Alex Karras and Paul Hornung got caught up in gambling scandal, it didn't keep Hornung out of the Hall of Fame. It did damage Alex Karras' career in the NFL and kept him out of the Hall of Fame. I'm not aware of that. Y'all can take that away.
Alex Karras, what the guy from Webster?
Paul,
yeah, I know about Paul Hornung.
Yeah, he's a guy that ain't played for the Colts. Defensive lineman for
the Lions. I think he played for the Lions. I thought he played for the Lions.
Was it the Lions?
Then he became he was Webster's dad on the TV show.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember the TV show Webster, the little dude.
I remember.
Yeah,
Webster.
I remember.
Oh man. So a little hate happened after the game. Coach K's final curtain call at
don't talk
Cameron
about that.
Indoor was, sadly, and we kicked they behind. We had them jokers up 33 at the Dean Dome. So I just knew we were gonna win. Now, I didn't think it would be a blowout just because everything that was behind it. So I knew they were, chomping at the bit to play spoiler, but I felt like, man, we'll get them by 6, 5, somewhere like that. It'd be under 10, single digit. Go ahead, Dave.
No, they just played out of. I'm a Duke fan as well, K. Lou. I just think they played out of their mind. North Carolina, it was like their championship.
Right.
I mean, they've been playing a lot better lately now, but I think it was their championship. I mean, they weren't really missing. They were grabbing boards. What's his name? Baycott had all them boards, and Manic was hitting threes. I just think they were a little bit juiced for it. Duke had already won the regular season, title. I just hate the fact that they lost in front of all those luminaries and ex-players like that. Adam Silver in the building, Jerry Seinfeld, and you just get beat like that in front of all those folks. And Coach K's last game, which was kind of sad, but North Carolina, I think, they just played out of their minds. They played above themselves that one day,
which is what you and I should expect going through these games, time in and time out, where we beat them. I think the year we went down there, I think with Grayson Allen. Was it? No. When we went down there with the coach's son, Philadelphia. He's from here. The kid went to school here, went apart.
The coach.
His dad, the
Doc
coach.
Dawkins.
No, Doc Rivers. I'm glad you said
Doc Rivers. Yeah. Oh, Austin Rivers. He hit that shot.
Austin
he hit that shot. Yeah.
We were trash compared to them. They was a much better team than us.
Yeah.
When we went there and pretty much did the same thing. So, all records are out. That game means so much. And I'm so sad MB off, but I'm sure he'll come back on.
Just to lose.
What I wanted to say was what I thought about. I left at halftime to go grab something to eat and come back. And I was driving back and it hit me. It just hit me like the most prestigious program in all of college. Watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Sports, not football, basketball, soccer, hockey. I said sports. It seemed like sports time stopped for Coach K.
Oh, it did. I was upset. They had another game on before, and they couldn't go I was upset. I was upset at that. But if you think about everything that Coach K has accomplished here with 5 national championships, the NCAA tournament, 35 years. I mean, I guess once I thought he would. When did Roy Williams retire? Last year or the year before?
2 years,
last year.
I think.
2 years. Last year. Okay.
No, last year.
Okay.
I thought he would keep going because of Boeheim. I think Boeheim and Syracuse is still going. So I thought Coach K had a little bit more juice left. But I mean, the world did stop. Great. I mean, he's built there is just simply amazing. Year in and year out.
So MB, what I was saying was, what I thought about during that game at halftime was this is the most prestigious and greatest sports program in college sports, period. I don't care about if you're talking about and I see saying the Wizard of Westwood, that's
UCLA.
I'm talking about modern. Like
you
see Wizard of Westwood and like these kids don't know who that is. You know what I mean? So and I'm saying like right now, and the times were different. Obviously, he was able
over Alabama football, Caleb.
Yeah. I don't think it's close. I really don't think it's close. And I mean, that's a debatable topic because football runs our country. So they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. But we kicked Alabama to the curb last year, man, when they didn't make it. It was like they didn't exist for a year. It's kind of crazy. But like I was telling MB, and I've had this argument with him all the time. That's a standard when, like, every year, no matter what, it's like how I talk about my Lakers. It's we win it all or it's a failure. And then to see, and then even like when they kept showing the alumni in the
that was
in
amazing.
the stands, it's like, dang, man, everybody went there. Like, you know, it was just like this one, that one, this one. And it's crazy because Miami has that in football, but they don't carry that kind of weight.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed about Coach K, though, players used to stay 4 years. And then the year he bought in, what was it, Brand and all those guys started leaving early. He kind of switched it up to start embracing the one and done.
Well, no, he still fought it to then. All those guys stayed. Elton and actually that
too, right?
That was during the time I was there. Elton and the point guard, he was there.
William Avery.
They both left, and William will tell you that was the biggest mistake of his life. But they left, but everybody else stayed. If you remember, Shane was on
Battier
that
stayed.
well.
Yeah, Battier.
He was on that team, and you know, so it was
the one that lost to Connecticut in that font. They went 33-1.
Correct. And Corey Maggette was a one and done at that point.
Corey Maggette.
Yeah.
But I think he was the first.
Too.
I think Corey Maggette was probably the first one and done for him.
Correct. As far as I can remember, MB.
I think he started off. Yeah, he started off.
But he showed up and we won the Natty, and he was probably averaging 10 minutes a game and went, you know, top.
I thought they lost. To Connecticut that year. Remember?
No. I said, wait. His year?
Maggetti's year, they lost. They lost to Connecticut.
They won the year after.
Rip Hamilton and them. They won 2 years later. Jay Williams' team with Dunleavy.
So you're saying Elton didn't win then? I thought
no, they didn't. They lost to Connecticut.
Okay.
Remember Rip Hamilton?
Yeah, but I you're probably right. I ain't gonna fight you on it because
they lost the championship. They got all. They won a couple years later with Jay Williams and that team. Boozer, I think, was on that team. Battier was on that team. What you doing in here? He gonna start bringing up the 70s. He gonna start bringing up the 70s, Caleb.
Well, come on, bring the Wizard of Westwood. I think it was a little bit different for them, right? If you think about it, they were who wasn't a Hall of Fame on any of his teams? You know what I mean? It was a little bit different.
No, but you know, Caleb, you had mentioned that you know during Krzyzewski's realm at Duke, that probably is one of the greatest programs of all times, and it probably was, you know, but I would have to take in consideration because of the age difference.
Correct.
That you know, the Wizard of Westwood, UCLA's program was probably one of the all-time great programs, you know.
Was there parity though? Talk to us about that. Was it a situation that, you know, like, you know, there were times when I think back to the NBA growing up in the 80s, I knew Magic was coming out of the West, and that, you know, there's a little bit more parity in the East because you had Boston, you had you know, a little bit later Detroit. You know, it was out of kind of them. But was there any parity? Did you not know he was going to win 10 years in a row? Kind of tells me, you know, like, you wasn't putting no bets against them. How about that?
Well, you know, I mean, I think the thing is when Jabbar came into the league, I mean, when Jabbar first came to UCLA, that basically changed the whole standards of what they were doing in NCAA basketball. They actually outlawed the dunk when Jabbar came in.
Right.
Who else was good in that era though? I think that's what K. Lou is saying.
Right.
Like,
you had some players that were good. I mean,
schools. That's what I'm saying.
From that era.
Who was
from that era? You had a number of players that were good basketball players from that era.
No, what schools were they?
What schools they run?
Was it Kentucky with Rock?
Yeah, well, Kentucky. You had Loyola of Chicago was a power.
Okay.
Cincinnati was a power.
Yes, Cincinnati was.
Ohio State was a power. When
And
Ohio
then-
San
State
Francisco.
And then you
Go with Bill Russell.
you had a color barrier thing too, in that you talk about before the 70s, pre-70s, you're talking about a time where you look at all the Southern teams, ain't nothing happened.
Well, that was that was basically Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
In reference to when you're talking about basketball, that Adolph Ruff was basically a racist.
Right.
But in reference to teams that were somewhat dominant, who was it? Was it West Texas that beat Kentucky in the national championship?
UTEP, yeah, it's UTEP now, but it was what called West Texas.
Yeah.
So it was West Texas that
Don Haskins.
They started what?
Five black players.
5 blacks.
Yeah, first time ever. Yeah.
There was a.
But what year was that?
66 or 67.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was before UCLA.
And then you had, after that, UCLA had a national championship team when they had Walt Hazzard.
Okay.
They had Gail Goodrich played on that team. And they had several other black players. Ohio State, when they won the national championship, they had a black guard, Mel Knoll, but Havlicek, Jerry Lucas, Larry Siegfried, who played for Boston. Lucas played for the Knicks, and I think Siegfried played for Boston too, on a couple of Boston's NBA championship teams. And then after that, the Cincinnati team had a number of black players.
Oscar Robinson, right?
That was after Oscar Robinson. Oscar Robinson didn't win a national championship in Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
They went to the Final Four, but they didn't win a championship. Loyola of Chicago had a number of black players on their starting team. On their team.
But the other thing I like about Coach Cato is he didn't have all that. Sometimes he took teams to the Final Four that had no business being in the Final Four. Like the year Grant Hill went, he was the only player. I think who was on it. Jason W. Capel was on that team.
You had Bobby Hurley. Yeah, Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, Hurley had left.
Didn't he have?
Oh, he's saying.
Didn't he have Christian Laettner too?
They won. They
were all gone.
They were all gone. Remember that year they played Arkansas and Scotty Thurman hit the shot. That team that Coach K had won that one. It was just Grant Hill. That was it.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I was really speaking about today's modern college sports. Not the Wizard of West, where I don't think that can ever be duplicated. I mean, if you're talking about history, then yeah, that's not even close. 10 wins in a row. Like who's doing that? Like,
right.
Like he cheated.
After Kareem, Bill Walton.
Yeah, Bill Walton won.
Well, he had the two best men. Bill Walton and carried on, and Kareem had the best man. And then who you had? Marcus Johnson, the power forward. Is that right?
Yeah, he had Marcus
players,
Johnson.
Man.
I can't believe Bill Walton made the top 75.
Well,
they say he scored 6,000 points.
Hey, you and Shaquille both. Shaq commented about that.
What do you say?
He only had Bill Walton only had 6,000
about Bill
points.
Walton.
Yeah,
man.
Making
the top 75 greatest players.
Yeah, he's.
And Tracy McGrady didn't make it. I'm like, you put Bill Walton. I think that was on that podcast, Caleb. I think Tracy McGrady went on that podcast with Shaq.
No, you know what though? Yeah, he did. I saw that too. But when you talk about that top 75, what Unc is speaking of comes into play. Because what I thought was the best thing that happened in the All-Star weekend, how about this? Was when they did the draft of the top 75.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You guys need to go back on YouTube, and they had a draft of the top 75. And basically you had like Dwayne Wade, some sports writers, you had Sue Bird, you had Jerry West, and Offset, like a rapper. But you had about 6 different teams redraft in the top 75, and then
wow, I had to check that out.
everybody had points associated with them. Of course, they didn't know what those scores were, and so they just drafted. Like,
Got it.
you know what I'm saying? Knowing obviously everybody, you can't. Who you gonna draft is bad. You know what I mean? With that theory, but still, everybody was associated with the points. And I'm gonna pull it up. I don't remember who won, but when they put the point system up, it shocked me. You know what I'm saying? Like who was worth, like a Bill Walton, for instance, was worth 30 points, and Michael Jordan was worth 130. You know, kind of like that kind of model. And that's what ended up happening. So Jerry West ended up coming in second, but it was just so funny when he was drafting like was talking about. It'd be a dude that we don't even recognize his name. He led for the most part of the draft with the point situation. And then I don't even know how he ended up second, but he led for the most part. But it was interesting, getting on here and speaking with us about, about the older guys. I know what he's talking about because I just watched it with the top 75 draft. It was sweet, y'all. Y'all should go back and watch it.
I'll check it out. Yeah, some of those guys on there kind of young, like Giannis. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish your comment.
Well, didn't Giannis make it and stuff? I mean, is he really top 75 already? Did Westbrook make it?
Yes.
I think
Westbrook made it.
Yep. He made it too.
So there's a lot of young guys on there that I think, still got ways to go in their career. It might be kind of early. I think Giannis is a little early for him. But
you think Giannis is early even with 2-time? You think Giannis is early with 2-time MVP?
What do you got? 6 All-Stars?
2-time MVP now, and he got the championship. Finally got the you think that's too young?
I gotta see the list. Let me see the list. I gotta see the whole list. I thought that was I was kind of Giannis is kind of young, but I mean he's definitely gonna be there. I mean the top 100, he's there. Yeah. I gotta see who else. Well, I mean because Harden was on there too, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I put it in the chat, y'all. So y'all have it.
Carmelo made it. Hey, let me ask you a question. Who's your, if you had to pick a starting 5, you go for list, position list or whatnot, NBA top 10, who would you pick? I was trying to do that, and that was tough. Aren't you there? Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear you. But MB, I'm gonna answer on his behalf a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
And I'm gonna say my first player isn't Michael Jordan, man. And I just Yeah, it's not. And I wasn't a huge Michael Jordan fan either. I'm an underdog type of guy. But this guy wasn't an underdog. But if you watch anything, please watch like a documentary about this guy. And I think it'll change your mind when they throw these lists up. Wilt Chamberlain was a freak. That was really a freak. Bro, when you learn about what he was able to do physically, like he was a 7-footer, right? With like over a 350-pound bench press. Bro, we always give him the benefit of that. Oh, they arms long, so they ain't that strong. They can't do. He did all that. He overcame all that. Then they was talking about his vertical being over 40 inches. Like he played everything. He ran track like a freak, a real freak. And then, I know Unc was talking about they changed the rules for Kareem. Shoot, it looked like he was playing with babies out there most of the time until Kareem came. And that's including with Bill Russell. He used to kill him.
He only got 2 championships, K-Lou.
Yeah, but he didn't get them till he came with us. But that's what I'm saying. He was always by himself. It was him and others. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about these scoring titles all the time. Why did they become important? Because he started them. You know what I'm saying? Like he started them.
Yeah.
That's why it became a big thing to hit 60, 80, all that stuff, because he did 100. You see what I'm saying? Like that's where that came from. So Mike would be my second pick. I do not understand, and he's never, guys, to me, gotten the respect he deserved when we talking about these top guys all the time.
Will
Who you
Chamberlain.
talking about? Will Chamberlain?
Wilt Chamberlain, yeah.
So you got Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, your center. Who your small forward and LeBron probably. Better be. It better be.
Hey, I'm a Laker, baby. Magic involved. Magic is
That's
at
the point
one.
guard.
Hey. What do y'all think in reference to Sean Kemp? A lot of people overlook Sean Kemp now.
I was a huge fan. I think the way he ended did more damage to his, career. And then if you think about it, he was just a freak of nature when it came to athleticism.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a guy that you go to for a bucket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then he wasn't that guy you go to make a great defensive stop. Although he was a highlight reel. Like if you really think about it, he was an all-star, lower all-star, but brought up high because of his, highlights. Because he's gonna be on ESPN every morning.
I see Damian Lillard made the list. It might be a little too early for him. Kawhi made the list.
Yeah, I thought but I think what they're doing, they're comparing them to, the people Unc know, and they're saying they got the edge, and that's why I thought it was important having Unc talk about, this part. MB bringing that question to him. Who would be your top five? MB said your starting five.
True. Go ahead,
He
Dan.
said he found it hard. I already started out with Wilt was my first pick. Mike, Magic.
Well, I probably, it's kind of a toss up at center, between Kareem and Wilt, because to me, Kareem is one of the all-time greatest centers to play the game. And a lot of people don't really look at it that way, but I think Kareem, he may be my first pick, and then Wilt would be my second.
Kareem said his hook was almost unstoppable, but Wilt went and got it. The only one to go get it. See what I'm saying?
But see, Kareem got 6 rings though.
Right,
Kareem got 6 rings. And he's the all-time lead scorer, ain't he?
Yeah, but Kate. Yeah, he's all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, so I look at Kareem at center. Michael Jordan would definitely be one of the guards. In reference to another guard that I really like, but he's not going to get the highlight like a lot of the other popular people that were playing the game back then. I was an Earl Monroe man, and I also was a tiny man.
Earl Pearl.
Yeah, and Tiny was another one. What guards today
Tiny
could
Archibald
lead the league in assists and in scoring in one season? There's no guards that have done that since Tiny.
Wait,
I think Trae Young might be able to do that eventually.
Who will? Trae Young?
Trae Young might be able to do that eventually.
No, I don't think so. He
Yeah,
shoots too
Trae
much.
Young be able to do that.
Well,
That means he's gonna score a lot of points.
He'll be leading the score.
He shoot too much.
Is John Moran a point guard?
Yes.
Or he is shooting guard?
Yes. No,
John might do that.
Yeah, well, we have to wait and see. But at forwards,
I got my last two Lakers, Kobe and LeBron, and I'm done.
Okay, LeBron. I put LeBron there. Yeah, I definitely would put LeBron there. And I have to say, I had to go with Doc.
Ooh,
Dr.
J.
Yep.
He got 1 championship.
So you got Doc, LeBron, Kareem,
Who was I say the guards?
Archibald Tiny.
Tiny and Pearl. Tiny and Pearl.
No, Michael.
You said Earl Monroe.
Yeah,
Tiny
Michael,
Archibald.
the Pearl, or Tiny.
Yeah, man, we finna dominate y'all. I got a whole Laker squad, basically. I got Wilt, Hill Laker, LeBron Laker, Kobe Laker, Mike, and then who was my fifth? Kobe, Mike. Oh, no, I said Wilt. Oh, and Magic, another Laker.
You said LeBron.
So they need Magic this year. Because I don't know what's wrong with them boys.
Aren't they too old? Aren't they too old?
There's no chemistry. Even though LeBron had what he had 56
let's think
classes.
about it, man. We ain't been healthy all year. It is what it is. We can talk bad about, Anthony Davis and all that stuff, whatever. But
when is he not injured?
Well, at the end of the day, basketball players need their stars to be successful. It just don't work. Football can kind of get away with it sometimes depending on the position. Basketball, you never gonna get away with it.
But Westbrook does not look the same in that offense, man. He don't look the same. I watched him a lot this year. He just don't. I don't know. He lost athleticism. It's just not. They made a mistake. I don't know why they didn't choose DeMar DeRozan. That's who they should have picked. I think he wanted to play for them.
Maybe because he's playing at home.
I don't know the way the comments he's been making lately. He seemed like he don't care no more. Go ahead. What you say, Caleb?
But isn't it easy to say that now? But DeRozan, he didn't revitalize his career because San Antonio, he wasn't putting up these type of numbers,
Yeah, but he might have been a better fit, Michael, next. I mean, Westbrook's been on how many teams? I like Westbrook. I do. One of my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talk about Buddy a better fit than. I know a lot of people saying they should have made the deal with Buddy,
Buddy Hield,
from Sacramento, because he's an outside shooter.
There you go, MB.
Yeah, that would have been better. You know what I'm saying? But I understand what you're saying. DeRozan is, but I'm just saying it's easy to say that now because DeRozan. He revitalized his career.
But he couldn't have done what he's doing now in LA. You got to remember, LeBron is LeBron, which means that he's going to handle the basketball. So if you're not capable of being think about it. Kyrie was what with LeBron? A spot up guy. Period. You know what I'm saying? He would take over games when LeBron would finally play off the ball or go to the bench. That's when we seen the true Kyrie. But LeBron, everybody he plays, he makes them shooters. Like if you can't shoot, you're gonna suffer.
Dwayne Wade was a shooter on the Heat.
Who?
Dwayne Wade.
Oh, he became a shooter with LeBron. He had to.
No, because they had Ray Allen though. Wasn't Ray Allen the shooter?
Yes, but
Doc became a shooter.
You don't remember when that big deal, and he spoke about it at length after the fact. But when he went to LeBron and said, "This your team," if you notice what happened, he started playing off the ball. He didn't now control the ball coming up and down the court, and so he played off. So yeah, he had his spots when LeBron wasn't in control, but LeBron is super ball dominant, and I feel like he shouldn't be at this point in his career if he want to make it to play with his son. He should play more in the paint, but he still got to have the ball, and that's what's killing Westbrook.
He might need to go back to Cleveland. He might need to go back to Cleveland. Honestly, they actually better than the Lakers right now.
Well, again, you speaking of with Anthony Davis being out for the games. That's
Anthony Davis was there. They still was an 8th seed.
What you mean? Just think about it though. Like again, this was a new team. I mean, it was still a new team trying to gel, and they haven't played together. Like same thing we talked about with the Clippers, MB, when they were supposed to do it. And I said, man, we played on teams. You can't just show up and because.
Yeah,
I remember being in linebacker meets with MB and him and Jesse, like on this, when they run this route, I'm going here, you going there. Like, if you don't get a chance to do that over and over and over, now they don't even have to talk about it. Game 8, they already know how it's going to play out because they've done it so many times. If you don't have that kind of work, it doesn't work. You ain't playing against, street ballers, man. It's not.
You think that's what happened to? You think that's what happened to Brooklyn while Harden got out of there? They just weren't playing together too much.
Absolutely, and
Harden's Philly and
Harden,
Embiid a better.
and Harden should have been the. It should have been spoken that he's the ball guy. Like we run everything through him.
You got Kyrie Irving.
You shouldn't have brought
on
him
away
too
games.
much
But...
controversy with Kyrie killed that whole thing in reference to the vaccination and everything. But I think that in reference to the Harden situation, K-Lou, I think that Harden. It wasn't really. I don't think the Nets was a good fit for Harden.
Absolutely, I agree.
I agree. I don't think it was a good fit.
No.
Because you got Kyrie, you got two guys that can do the same thing. I don't ever think that's a good fit. The problem with LA Clippers to me was, you got the best front court in basketball, and both of them play defense and go one-on-one and score. So what the other one do while he watching him go one-on-one score? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's like that. Yeah, it's like that OKC when they had Westbrook and Durant. Your turn, my turn.
Right.
I go one-on-one. You go one-on-one. But I thought Harden was a good fit.
Yeah, and I thought so too. And I know initially, before when the trade happened, when they brought the team together, when they traded for Harden to go to that. Charles Barkley talking about the dribble brothers, right?
Right.
But I just think, but I think with Harden game, because of the fact he can distribute the ball and stuff, like you said, I agree with you. The ball shoot in his hand, and you surround around shooters. I thought it was. I thought once they realized Harden's going to be the point, and Kyrie could be the two, and then Durant he do his thing.
But for MB, Kyrie never realized he could be the two. Like what happened was
that boy, he don't need to be no two. He got his head. He don't need to be no two.
And David, I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying is you can't have 2 1s. I bet that I'll argue that point that you can't have 2 1s. And that's why I agree with Unc who's saying Harden ain't have no business there. Because you got 2 guys that really want to do a lot of the same thing, except for Harden is way more unselfish than any of them. Because I told
he was unselfish.
On this show, when we were talking about him going there, what would change? I said he'll sacrifice his points for them to score.
That's true.
And immediately, who numbers went down? His. But his assist did what? Went up.
Yeah, now he's back to 27 a game in Philly now.
Right.
And Philly's a much better fit.
It is.
And everybody making it like he's a bad guy. If he don't like your team, he'll shut it down. No. The dude was there doing what he thought would work for that team, and it didn't work. They were still trying. If you notice, still down the stretch when KD was healthy, they were still making Harden get him the ball and move out the way and just go sit there. And then KD went to work. I'm like, that's not.
But you don't think he should have been a little more patient, K-Lou? They got injured against Milwaukee in the Milwaukee series, and Kyrie got injured. They never really got to play. Like they could have probably won that series against Milwaukee.
See, why they get an excuse? And my Lakers don't get that same excuse.
Because the Lakers was in 9th place when everybody was healthy. They was in 8th place.
Man, we ain't played together but for like 9 games. Like
how many years is Anthony Davis going to be injured?
Listen, that's why I prefaced in the beginning. I know what y'all say about AD and his injuries, but the fact remains he ain't out there. So and basketball,
how do you fix it? Russell Westbrook got a $47 million contract. How you get rid of that?
Well, we ain't trying to get rid of that. I'm patient. I'll wait. See, we got to win. We win for we talk about longevity in LA, man. We these fly by night teams y'all trying to put together.
Fly by night, nah. I don't know, man. Phoenix ain't going nowhere. Phoenix ain't going nowhere. Memphis is coming.
Well, we're hearing that, right? we're hearing that. We've heard it before. Phoenix was in this position back in the day when Charles Barkley was there. Only team we keep talking about though is in LA.
Because y'all always gonna get free agents though, Kalu. Y'all always gonna.
But hold on.
Y'all always gonna get a star.
Everybody else can do that too, man. The rules ain't only the Lakers can get.
Who gonna want to go play? My favorite team is the Orlando Magic. Who want what free agents besides Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill gonna go play for the Orlando Magic?
Nothing. So they learning from their mistakes.
You know, the Lakers are always LaMelo Ball's probably gonna be there in 3 years, 4 years. Towns is gonna be there. He lives there in the offseason. I mean, the Lakers are always going to get a star.
We wish they'll come now.
Y'all didn't get Kawhi though.
Oh, that's because he was silly. He wanted to be a loser, man.
They about to move into a new arena in 3 years. They gonna be the marquee name.
I mean, we've heard that before.
They about to move into it. They beat y'all by 20-something the other night, didn't they? Reggie Jackson put in work.
Right. And
Reggie Jackson.
What ring did it gain him? You know what I'm saying? Like, we what? A year removed from hoisting that thing up, man?
In the bubble.
During COVID.
Hey, man.
No fans.
Hey, man.
During COVID.
Does that make LeBron know a Laker for life for you? Because he only got that one. My boy's a big time Laker fan. He said you can't just give it. You can't give us just one. He said you can't give Laker fans just one.
Life. You came there to do what we brought you there to do. You're a Laker for life. It's not even a question about that.
Really? Okay, I thought y'all had high standards in that, Kalu. Y'all just want one?
What do you mean? He's a Laker for life. He's not the Laker, the all-time Laker. Like, he's a Laker for life. That's easy.
Who's the all-time Laker, Kalu?
Kobe.
Magic.
And Magic.
Kobe.
Both of them. You know.
Not Shaq.
Again, I listen to a lot of what Shaq say, man. Shaq said this. And so this will really tell you who it is. Shaq said he was in a restaurant and they started standing up and applauding. And he looked around and guess who walked in? Magic. Just like a regular restaurant. So, as Shaq said, that's who I want to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what the kind of love I want. YG don't listen to Magic though. She don't listen to him. Come on, man. She listen. Magic just. She don't listen to Magic. She got a. They fired Magic, Kalu. Yeah, listen, man. It's a love-hate relationship. We know he get a little hot, heated. You know when when what he calling for we don't do, and you know we have to separate ourselves because we can't make everybody just know that Magic runs our organization. We can't let it be just. They say it's Kurt Rambis and Linda Rambis. Yeah, that's what they show said. They said it's Kurt Rambis and Linda Rambis. Yeah, that's some foolishness right there. They're about to bring in. They talk about firing Pelinka though and bringing in the dude from Clutch Sports, Jamal Wilkes' son. And listen. I support all the decisions we make over there, man. It ain't Rob Pelinka's fault that they bought in Westbrook though. That was if you trying to break us up, you're not doing a good job, man. I'm there. Yeah. Hey, listen, I was rocking my Lakers book bag when we was sitting there with Kobe, losing every game. Seemed like whoever we played, it was an L. Think we won. That's what y'all about. That's what y'all about to be once LeBron leaves. He got how many years do he got left? He got 2 at the most. His son come in 24, right? If he gets drafted. What, Dave? It's you name all these teams. Was talking about different teams, and only one we still talk about. Like was talking about the Knicks. We mentioned the Celtics. Like I said, Detroit. All this greatness, right? Only one name you could have said when was really into it and knew all the guys and all that, and it's that same name you still saying right now. You better make me lead You better make me lead a show like Paul Pierce when he said on ESPN, I got to talk about the Lakers and LeBron all the time. Yeah. He hated himself. He hated himself.
Paul Pierce, I gotta quit you. I gotta talk about LeBron and the Lakers all the time.
Because think about it. Who was on? You had to speak about him then too, didn't you? When you were talking about Dr. J, you still had to see what the Lakers had over there.
Oh, I can remember that championship that they won where Kareem didn't play and Magic played center, and they beat the Sixers.
But the Sixers did beat them one time, Dad.
Yeah, I know the Sixers beat them one time. The Sixers beat them actually in L.A. Won the final game in I think it was a 6th game in L.A.
Mm.
You know, that's when Doc had that dunk on Cooper.
Oh yeah, that was nasty. They still play that. Seemed like today.
Yeah,
when he rocked him to sleep and throwed it on his head.
Now, I will say this: what LeBron James did the other night was phenomenal, though. At his age, 54, 56.
Yeah, at 45. 19 years in.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know they talking about Tom Brady is amazing, but that was amazing. That I watched that whole game. That was amazing what he did.
Now look, I just need him to fake an injury, and then we put on some kind of run a couple times and get AD back and get this 10th seed and take the business.
AD will come back for one game and sit down. Him and Zion go to this. They must see the same doctors.
He played more than Zion. How about that? Yeah.
Zion trying to get out of New Orleans, though. That's all.
So delving that a little bit more, DeHaven, why do you think he wants out? Like, he hasn't really done anything. Like, how can you?
I think he wanted a bigger market. I think he wants a bigger market. I mean, the trade that they did for CJ McCollum was nice. Now they actually starting to play good, and it's not a bad team. But I think he really wants a bigger. That's not the market. I think he wanted like the Knicks. He was talking about going to playing for the Knicks.
Yeah, but usually think about it. What usually happens with guys like that, like you take a Shaq that was in this smaller market in Orlando, but he made himself Shaq, and then he bolted.
Yeah, he wasn't going to bolt. You got to watch the documentary. He was going to stay. Shaq was going to stay. Orlando wouldn't give him more money. He was going to stay. But he became bigger than life by going to LA.
What has Zion done?
He an all-star.
There we go with that potential stuff again. I mean, like,
he a fellow Duke. How you be hard on Zion? He a fellow Duke. You know, your fellow Duke.
I'm not hard on him, but you know, listen, we got to.
You think RJ Barrett's going to end up being better than Zion?
If who now?
RJ Barrett's going to be better than Zion.
I mean, he actually plays, so yes. Like you got to get him. You can't get the y'all. I don't understand that when guys. You know, that's why they blow it in the draft because of stuff like this and blow it, you know, both NBA and NFL draft because Combine's up right now. And a guy go out there and jump like Zion and fly down the field. And we look at the tape and he averages 5 drops a game. Don't think them drops going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like they coming.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the Wolves would rather have John Morant right now, who's taking number 2 in that over than Zion. But you can't. I mean, I'm not saying Zion's a can't miss. The only way he's a miss is because of injury. That's it.
Which is what's happening, and I think if you look at it, the biggest knock on him was the fact that everyone thought his weight would end up catching up with him, and causing.
But it didn't catch up with Charles Barkley though. He's got a body like Charles Barkley.
It did. It did. Remember now,
Charles Barkley at the end of his career.
Slimmed up. Moses Malone, he tells the story all the time. Moses got on him, put him on the track. So he was small, for him and his body type. And he wasn't as big as Zion. Zion's 6'7". He's 6'4".
With Zion go with 280 or 290?
Probably 300. That picture, that horrible picture they had of him, he 305.
But what is the issue that I see in today's time with the young ball players? They're a lot more injury prone than it was back in the day.
Oh, it's easy answer. Too much
AAU.
Basketball. Yep.
AAU.
Yeah.
AAU.
They never stopped playing. Like high school states, right? Hadn't even finished here. My high school lost on Friday. the coach was telling me he had AAU practice Saturday. Like, ain't even over. Like the final state games were going on at the same time, like on that Saturday, and those kids already, loading up to get on this Nike circuit because he does, the high level. So the Nike circuit, the Under Armour and Adidas, they already gone. Like, and they about to run all the way back through till school starts.
So school starts, yeah.
Yeah.
So they play what, 2 or 3 games a day in these tournaments, or 2?
It's when they get there, they lock them in, and it might be 2, 3, sometimes maybe more. If you lose early, you got to play yourself back in. Like I remember AAU, boy, you don't want to lose early, boy, because it's a long tournament. Because the early games are for the seedings, and then and if you lose, then you go in and move on. But now you got to play yourself out of being at the bottom seed. So,
people like Giannis don't get injured.
Giannis
don't get injured.
Who?
Giannis don't get injured that much. Doesn't get injured.
Giannis ain't from here and didn't play this stuff.
That's true.
Giannis was in Greece.
And Joel Embiid been healthy. He was injured early in his career, but he's been healthy lately.
No, he's not. That's what they always saying. They're saying, hey, you better win while he's at this level because you can't depend on him because we know he's going to break back down. Like, it's happening, But, it's simple answer. The Haven told us AAU. Like, and they never stop. Like, if you find any kid that that's playing AAU, just talk to him. Ask him what his schedule like. They don't stop.
So that's a factor in reference to when they go to the next level and they're playing consistently, that basically they're more injury prone.
Correct. Because and studies have been shown with this. I watched it when they were seeing like girls were tearing ACLs left and right in soccer. And what they determined was because they're utilizing the same muscle groups over and over. And the soccer is very similar to basketball. They're playing pretty much year round with these club teams. I don't know if y'all are aware of that. But and so it was just like over exertion of those groups. And it's like you're not stopping soccer to go play basketball, then stopping basketball to go play, field hockey or something. You soccer all the way through. And that's what these basketball kids are. They're basketball all the way through. And then when they get to college, time they get to campus over the summer, the college coaches take them on these European tours and they're playing then. Like, you know what I mean? They in Canada, they're in Europe, and they're taking all these trips doing nothing but playing basketball. So for them, nothing's changed. I just changed the name on the front of my jersey. And then they roll right into the basketball season after that.
Yep.
And then it's right back to workouts. Okay. After that, like it's just downtime, like is and I think because of that, because what everybody forgets, obviously they then have to go into training mode. What do I need to fix? How can I get better? And then, like LeBron talks about taking care of his body. Part of that is working out more. Working out more is part of taking care of your body. So
well, he needs to transfer some of. Yeah, he needs to transfer some of that wisdom to AD. Because he's always. Even Durant's always seems to be injured.
But Dad, you forget Durant is almost 33 years of age now. He's been in the league since 2007. That's my favorite player now. I'm talking about Kevin Durant.
I like Durant. I think Durant is bad. But he always
Jason Tatum gave it to him the other day, though. Jason Tatum gave it to him.
And let's come on, guys. Let's in the NBA, bigger guys do tend to be injured more. We think about Yao and his career was derailed. Shaq had injuries late.
Late.
Right.
Elijah Wan didn't have injuries.
That was a different animal.
Chamberlain didn't have injuries.
Patrick Ewing didn't have injuries neither.
Yes, he did. Them knees was shot.
When he have injuries?
Them knees was shot
At the end of his career, he looked like he had injuries because he wore them 2 knee pads.
He was playing through them. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
A
a
lot-
different breed too.
Lonzo Mourning didn't have injuries.
Yeah, Elijah One's a different monster. Like you got to set him. You set David Robinson. to the side,
yeah.
Right. You look
Tim
at
Duncan wasn't
everybody
injured either.
else. You look at pretty much everybody else. Big, they had struggles, one way or another. So you know, so the big man.
I don't remember Moses having injuries either.
Yeah, you might be right about Moses. Yeah. Well, see, now you done jumped. You done jumped again. They was a little tougher back then. They took a shot of Jack or Crown, and they went on out there.
What was the Pistons be fighting out there on the court?
Their treatment was a little bit different.
They should be more healthy in today's day.
Oh man. And the final thing, man, I just at least wanted to mention since I put it on the title. Brittany grinding in Russia, man. What's y'all thoughts on this?
That's sad. I heard she's been detained for weeks and people didn't even know it.
Yeah, like a month now. It was 3 weeks last week. Now it's a month.
Putin ain't gonna let her out.
Yeah, she was trying to leave the country, right? She was trying to come back to the States, right?
Well, they caught some hashish oil, which is illegal.
Because I thought that
she a weed head, probably.
Yeah, I thought that they said that she was actually trying to leave to come back to the country.
No. So she's over there playing basketball. You know, most our WNBA pro women make all their money overseas.
Yeah.
They paid pennies here compared to what they do overseas. So that's where they are making their money. Yeah. And Brittany was just traveling normal game with the team, and they caught her with a vape pen and had that hashish oil in there. The dog hit on it. The police dog hit on it. So it's kind of crazy because obviously what's going on over in Russia, well, not actually in Russia, it's going on in Ukraine. And you know, her being caught in the middle of it, but I mean, she violated their law, you know, which is crazy because she has European, you know, she has that experience, so she knows, you know what I mean, like what to do over there. She's been playing over there probably 8 years.
Yeah, but like Haven said, Putin will make a statement with all the sanctions that they're throwing against Russia, especially with the U.S. involved. They're going to make her example.
I think she was facing 1 to 5 when I read it a week ago. 1 to 5 years. If she's convicted of that. Hopefully it's a situation where she can plead it down and get probation, but then how you gonna do probation in another country? So she's stuck there for a while. And here's
not in Russia. She's gonna be stuck for a little while, for a long while, you know.
Yeah. And I used to watch this show, interesting show. I can't even think of the name right now, but it was about Americans going over to other countries trying to smuggle drugs, or most of the time it was drugs, and they have to do time over there, you know, in that particular country. So this is something
won't be in no Russia jail.
Look, I done seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is normal, actually. So I know it's gonna be heightened because of the war, you know, that's going on right now. And then absolutely who she is, she's a public figure. So people are going to be more inclined to say, hey, get her out of there. But this happens to, you know, hundreds of Americans every year across the world, you know, trying to, and no, that was personal use, but it still ends up being the same thing, like drugs.
I mean, didn't Whatchacom have the same issue, Ball's brother?
No, he was stealing. He was stealing.
He was stealing.
Yeah.
He was stealing.
Yeah.
But just
and he was in China, though, right? Wasn't that in China?
Yeah, he was in China.
Yeah.
Trump got him out.
That's just as bad.
But there is a show on HBO Max about the Lakers dynasty. It's really good. I caught the first episode yesterday.
Oh, sweet!
It's called Winning Time. Written by the guy that did a movie called The Big Short, and it was really excellent, well done. It's like it's a fictionalized version of, you know, Jim Draft.
It's on HBO. It's on HBO, right?
Yeah.
And Jerry
about
Buss.
Dr. Buss behind the team.
Well,
he brought the team from Jack Ken Cook, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's about
Yeah.
us. It's gonna be all right.
Well,
We appreciate father and son rolling through, man. This was awesome. It was my pleasure to have you guys. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm down your way, Kalu, too. I'm in Daytona.
Oh wow, you down the street.
Yeah.
You vacationing or you here?
I came down for the car show, and I've been playing golf with my family the past several days.
Wow. So this that real good weather, huh? You like what? Is it really?
We get good weather. We get good weather in Atlanta.
It's always cold and raining, man. It seems like it's either burning up hot or it started getting cold and raining.
it's raining now.
See, that's what I'm saying.
And it's supposed to rain here too.
Yeah, but watch it just create a sauna environment. You wish it didn't rain. You go in a sauna and you know it gets super hot when them cold, it start that steam come up. That's what it feels like. You like, how is it dry already? It just rained 20 minutes ago and the road dry. Shucks. We don't have great that ain't great road runoff in our sewer system, but it's that heat, it's that sun. But we appreciate y'all stopping through, man, hollering at us, because you know us from sideline to baseline with MB and K Lou, the Haven and Pops. We are gone.
Peace.
Take it easy.